and welcome back. Let's go ahead and get started creating some ways to assess your students using a completely free Nearpod account. These tools are super fun and easy and will get you the reports that you need. So we're going to go ahead and make sure you've got a free Nearpod account. Just head to nearpod.com and we'll get started. While you're heading to nearpod.com, I'd love to say hello. My name is Melissa. I'm an online teacher and a homeschooling mom of 4. I share about all things teaching, productivity, and homeschooling here on YouTube. So before you proceed, make sure you have subscribed and like this video. It's free and it helps me know what you are enjoying on this channel. So you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you're logged into Nearpod, create an account. Let's see what that looks like. All right, here I am at nearpod.com. I'm going to go ahead and log in using Google. You do what you want to do. All right, now I'm logged in, but as you can see, and if you've been watching any other videos in this series on warm-ups and ways to practice using Nearpod, I'll leave that playlist up here. You might want to go ahead and organize your dashboard here. So what I might do is go ahead and create a new folder. I'm going to create one for warm-ups, and I'm going to create one for practice. Okay. So I can simply drag these over. This is practice, and these are warm-ups. All right, warm-ups and warm-ups. Perfect. All right, so there we are. Now our dashboard is a little bit cleaner, right? We can just hop in here. I might as well go ahead and create one for assessments. Right? And then you can name your lessons by the topic that you're teaching. So to create our assessments, we're going to start off with what I think is probably one of the more fun activities here in Nearpod. You could use this as a warm-up to kind of gauge where students are at on a topic. You could use this as a practice activity, but I actually like using it both at the beginning as a kind of pre-test and at the end to see where we are. All right, so we're going to start with a lesson here. We click create and then lesson. And we are going to, first we're going to title this Simple Machines Assessment. Now, depending on your content, you are going to be able to find so many great pre-made assessments for you in here. But we're going to go with simple machines. And I'm going to use time to climb. All right, there it is. As the little icon shows, it's a little mountain and they're racing up the mountain, all right? And in this preview over here, you can see that there are different characters, and that's a fun thing that kids get to choose. There are different backgrounds, which we will choose from as well. Now, one of the things that I love about this is that we can search in a way that's helpful for our content. So I'm going to go to science. If you wanted to narrow it down even further, you could go to grade. But I'm going to go ahead and choose science, and I'm going to choose simple machines. There we go. So I've got one, you'll notice, for grades 3 to 5 and one for 6 to 8. Let's go with 6 to 8. We'll mix it up here. Get those middle schoolers some love. All right, I'm going to collapse that and head over here. Now, just like with any other assessment, you need to make sure this is aligned to what you've taught, right? We're not going to quiz kids on things that they have not learned yet. So go through each of the pre-made questions and just check it out. Okay, let's start with the first one. What is a simple machine? Okay, we're using text here. A simple machine is simple. A machine that is simple to build. A basic mechanism. Okay, these look great. And see this green check mark, that's going to be our correct answer, right? One of those definitely needs to be checked. Over here, we've got the max time allowed. We can change this. All right, so if you wanted to go really quickly, or if you needed to give students a little bit more time, depending on their needs, that's going to be really important. Okay, I can also add some reference media over here if I wanted to help students kind of scaffold a little bit more. I could add that over there, just give them something to jog their memories. All right. If I also want to get rid of a question, I can just trash it over here. Or if I want to duplicate it, I can do that too. So a really great time saver. All right, 6 types of simple machines. Great. What is mechanical advantage? Let's just run back up here really quickly. I could add image answers here too. Okay, so a fun way to mix up your assessments if you need to. All right, simple machine is a knife, it's a wedge, great. Jar lid would be a screw. Name of a fixed point that a lever rotates around, fulcrum. All right. Name for a machine that uses two or more simple machines, compound. And mechanical advantage is equal to the product. All right, just a quick note, we can add more than one correct answers. So if you wanted students to choose all that apply, they could choose 3. All right, so you just need to make sure that your green check marks line up with the answers that you want. All right, so the cool part about when you start doing this is that you'll be able to choose the background. All right. There are theme parks, there's under the sea, there is space, sports, all sorts of themes there. So you can really go wild with that. There's music in the background, which you can use or not use, timers. So all of that is a really simple way to create a great assessment that's kind of fun for students on Nearpod. All right, the next way to assess using Nearpod on your free account is to create a quiz. Yep, it's just a quiz. It's nothing super special. But what I love is the information it gives me while we are in class, okay? So I can watch them take the quiz and we can talk about it. So this is a great thing to use as a formative assessment near the beginning of your teaching, and then as a summative, and you'll hopefully see some improvement there after teaching. So I'm going to go ahead and drag our time to climb up here to assessment so that it's a little bit cleaner. Let's go ahead and create another lesson. And we're going to choose quiz this time. All right. Simple machines quiz. My lesson name, and I'm going to go to quiz. There we go, multiple choice quiz. All right. So again, I am going to need to add in my questions here. If you're using a textbook or something that your school or you've got some lesson plans already done for you, add those questions in here. Super easy. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Add those options in. You can add some reference media, a really great way to quickly create a more streamlined and helpful quiz for you. I'm going to go ahead and add this title, Simple Machines, and I'm going to add my questions in here. Let's just add a couple. All right. What is an example of a wedge? All right. So maybe I'll do a seesaw, a jar lid, and an axe. All right. Obviously, axe is the correct answer, so I'm going to add that one. I'll add another question. To add an image over here, I want to add wheel and axle. All right, I want one without any labels. So let's try that Lego one. All right. In the picture, what 2 parts of a simple machine are used? Choose 2 answers. Okay. So let's do wheel. Let's do pulley. We'll try to throw them off. All right, let's do axle. These are our correct answers. And we'll do wedge. Okay. All right. So as you can see, there are lots of different ways you can do this. You can also add a timer if you need to add a little bit of a pressure kind of element to this. But that's the idea here. So we've got a quiz. While you are in class and while your students are completing the quiz, you can see the answers that they are giving, if they're correct or incorrect, and you're able to talk them through. I love doing this with a little bit of discussion. Hey, Sarah, could you please check number 3? And Sarah can navigate back and go back and just kind of rethink number 3. Perhaps she'll get it right, perhaps she'll get it wrong, but that lets me know, ooh, she might need a little bit more practice on this, okay? Really, really great real-time assessment and action steps that we can take using quizzes in Nearpod. All right, our final assessment type that I'm gonna show you today, there are others, that you can make in your free Nearpod account is an interactive video. Now, I love bringing in videos, it makes it a little bit more interesting for students and helps them kind of connect to perhaps some of the more real world examples that they're seeing about what they're learning. Now, our third and final way that we're going to assess, there are others, that we'll see in this video today is an interactive video. So I'm going to bring in a YouTube video. Let's see how that works, because sometimes we can't find exactly what we want. Maybe you've got a YouTube video that you're like, I love this example. Let's do that. So we're back into our Nearpod account. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my dashboard again, drag this back to the assessments. We're done there. And I'm going to go ahead and create, and I'm going to choose video. All right. And I have found a great YouTube video from SciShow Kids. I love this channel, all about levers. And I want my students to be able to show me how they would use this in their everyday life. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this URL from YouTube, just straight from YouTube. Now I can search something in here that fits my needs, and actually the video, the precise video that I'm going to pull off of YouTube is already in here. Look, there it is, simple machines, levers, fantastic. And there are others, but I'm going to show you how this works with YouTube, okay? So for here, I'm just going to search simple machines, levers, see what comes up. There it is, SciShow Kids, perfect, that's what we want. I can do a quick check to make sure this is what I want. Yes, it is. All right, then I can actually check others too, but I know that's what I want. I'm going to choose save. It takes just a minute, not too long though. And then I can add in my own questions here. I could add in a few along the way. Maybe I want to remind students what's the name of that point that the lever balances on. All right, what is the name of the point that the lever balances on? Triangle, fulcrum. All right, and obviously fulcrum is the right answer, so we'll just save that. I can drag it to where I want it to be in the video. Perhaps it's happening right about here, the fulcrum, perfect. I'm gonna add that right after. And then at the end, I'm gonna add an open-ended question. Okay, this is the assessment part that perhaps I need to get a little bit of writing in. I want to see my students write about what they know about levers. So in your own words, describe how you use levers in your everyday life. Add 2 to 3 examples. Check your writing for spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. Okay, for my 4th, 5th graders, right? All right, fantastic. I'll click save, and then my students will be able to type their answers in there. Again, giving them options, keeping it open-ended, letting them connect to their own lives. This is super important for our students' learning, and that is at the end of the video. Just a reminder that you can trim these videos, so if you did want to take off a little bit of time, you could. And I'm going to click save, and that'll head back to my Nearpod dashboard, and I can drag that to my assessments. All right, so this is another look at how we can create assessments. There are more, and we'll dive into those in another video. But if you're enjoying this, go ahead and take a look at the other videos in this playlist on Nearpod. There are so many ways that we can use this free tool to make learning more engaging for our students. If you're already using Nearpod, I would love to hear what you've used to assess your students' learning. Go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And if you've got questions, I would love to answer them. I'm a Nearpod certified educator and a pioneer, and I love talking about this stuff. And making learning fun for our kids is always the goal for me. Just a reminder, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe and like it. It helps me know what you're enjoying, and it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And if nobody's told you yet today, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. It's really important. Happy teaching.